What up, YouTube? Timus here. Now, here's my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10 and 20 this week. Alright, the films turning 10. Sorry to do this to you guys, but one of the films turning 10 this week, we got Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. Of course, one of the final installments of the we're gonna get to that in a bit, but one of the final installments of the Twilight franchise, which I admit, I know the cool thing is you hate on the Twilight franchise and everything. I admit right now, I don't hate the Twilight films as most people do. I do quite have, I actually have found them enjoyable, and I will say, the final two installments were actually the best out of the franchise. I mean, the Breakdown Part 1 was cool, but I do really appreciate Part 2 more. This time around, we're Breaking Down Part 1. We have, Bella and Edward who are getting married, and of course, throughout the film, they will, of course, be having a kid there too. You got Taylor Lautner, who, by the way, congrats to Taylor on getting engaged there. But anyway, now Twilight, of course, the last two installments was directed by Bill Condon, who gave us the Beauty and the Beast movie. He's gave us some other really cool stuff like Gods and Monsters, Mr. Holmes. He's gave us Dreamgirls. So he's a really cool filmmaker there. I thought Part 1, Breakdown was much better than most people gave out to be. Like I said, I know the cool thing is you hate Twilight and everything like that. But I just don't hate them as most people do. Like, I do find the Twilight franchise sort of enjoyable. So that's me, but people are not, obviously, most people are not going to think the same. Anyway, also turning 10, we got Happy Feet Part 2, which I admit was not as good as the first Happy Feet, which, of course, won Best Animated Feature. But I still thought it was okay. I mean, you had some of the returning voices from, the late, great Robert Williams, to Elijah Wood. Of course, you also had Pink, who actually ended up replacing Brittany Murphy from the first film. I thought Part 2 was much better than most people may actually be. It was pretty cute, charming. Like I said, it was just not as good as the first film. But you did, of course, have Matt Damon and Brad Pitt in this. That was really cool to hear. So, yeah, but now Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Happy Feet 2 were cool and all, but maybe my favorite film of that week, and probably my favorite movie of 2011 in general, the film that should won the Oscar for Best Picture, should have won more Oscars than it had. That is Alexander Payne's terrific film, The Descendants. No, not to be confused with the Disney films. I know there's a lot of confusion there because there's name and all. Not The Descendants. This is The Descendants, the movie that stars the likes of George Clooney, and of course, it's directed by Alexander Payne. You also had Judy Greer, Shailene Woodley, Matthew Lillard, the late great Robert Forster was in it. This movie is terrific. I mean, all due respect to the artist was a good movie and everything, but how on earth did The Descendants not win Best Picture is still beyond me. I mean, I thought The Descendants was the better movie, in my opinion. You had George Clooney, who plays this native Islander who lives with his family in Hawaii, and their life is shattered when a tragic accident leaves his wife in a coma, and he must also struggle with the stipulation in his wife's will that will also that she will be allowed to die with dignity. But he also finds out that his wife was having an affair with with this other guy played by Matthew Lillard, who is also terrific. So he's not to mention he's also trying to deal with the cope of his daughters as well, like trying to deal with his. This was actually the movie that really put Shailene Woodley on the map. She did get some award recognition. Like, I believe she got an Independent Spirit Award nomination. I believe she did not get an Oscar nomination, but George Clooney should have won his first ever Oscar. I don't think he ever actually won Best Actor before, but I mean, I did remember I think he did won some awards before, but George Clooney should have won Best Actor for this. This was the best performance he's ever given. He was so terrific. His chemistry with his on-screen daughters was great. Matthew Lillard stole lots of scenes here. Judy Greer was great. I mean, this movie is you're gonna be left in tears. It's just a terrific film. I mean, this movie is my favorite movie of 2011. There's no getting around it. It's definitely was one of my favorite films. I remember watching this film in theaters when it got released. It's a terrific watch. So if you guys have not really seen The Descendants, not sure where you can find nowadays. Maybe you can find it on Hulu, I'm guessing, since it is from Searchlight. But go watch this movie. It's a really terrific watch. Oh boy, this one will make you feel right here. All right. Also, Turning 20 is probably one of the best movies of all time, and that is The Watch. No, I'm just kidding. The Watch, of course, is the movie with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. That movie sucked. I mean, if you guys don't know much about this film, it stars Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre as like mismatched roommates working at a car wash, and they come together to rescue their boss, played by George Wallace, from like a couple of first-time kidnappers. So yeah, I mean, I like Snoop Dogg, I like Dr. Dre. You got some other cool cast members in this, but yeah, this movie just blows. I mean, yeah. But the film that is really getting the hype, and the film that turns 20, and holy cow, I can't believe this is 20 years old. That is the first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Holy cow. I mean, directed by Chris Columbus, who gave us Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire. I love the first Harry Potter film. It's a movie that still holds up. Of course, it did spawn loads, like an incredible trilogy. Of course, it was just announced the other day that the original Harry Potter trio will be returning for like this Harry Potter HBO Max reunion special. Can't wait to see that. But man, the original Harry Potter movie will always hold up. It's It's a terrific watch. I cannot believe that. I kid you not. If you want to feel really old right now, Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson on The Dirties. Just wrap your heads around that. The two young stars we watched literally grow up before our eyes are now in The Dirties. Yeah, I mean, they have been doing some interesting stuff since the Harry Potter franchise ended. I mean, crazy to believe that Harry Potter literally started 20 years ago, and Harry Potter ended 10 years ago. Just wrap your heads around that, because if you guys don't know, Deathly Hallows Part 2 turned 10 this year as well. So, yeah, I mean, of course, the Harry Potter franchise is still going. We have the Fantastic Beasts movies. I'm still hoping we do get another Harry Potter movie with the original trio that will be $1 billion. That will be, oh man. I mean, if you think a Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back will break banks, just imagine a Harry Potter film with the original trio all back together. That movie will break billions, So, but I mean, of course, we still got Cursed Child, which is I haven't seen it, but I have heard decent stuff about it. But that aside, the original Harry Potter movie, I mean, with Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, the three-headed dogs. The troll scene is so awesome. I mean, I kid you not. I actually rewatched the original Harry Potter movie on the big screen this past year, and it's still fun to watch. I mean, the movie still holds up. It's a great film to watch, and if you have not really seen the original Harry Potter or even the other films after it, go watch them. They are really amazing. Anyway, let me lead you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one is not Breaking Dawn or is not Happy Feet 2. It's The Descendants. That movie is the best film of the year, in my opinion. And the 20-year one, no doubt about, it's definitely not the Snoop Dogg Dr. Dre movie. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Anywho, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Movie signing out.